Hi there, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a great one for you today. We're looking at the new table of contents module that they've just added to Divi. I'm using version 5.8.0 at the moment and just updated it. I think this module's been here for a few versions, but this is my first actual look at it. As you can see, we've got a table of contents module. If you read the Elegant Themes blogs, you may have seen something similar on their site. I've got a bunch of sections on this page right here. I just added a table of content module, and we can scroll to our various different sections. I hit my back to the top button, and it gives you options to grab H1 titles, H2 titles, etc. I've got an H4 here. We can even scroll to that right down the bottom if we want to. Really nice little feature. Of course, you can build this using interactions, but this has saved us an awful lot of time by having it for us. So I'll show you exactly how to use this module. It's really easy. So I've got this page open here. Well, let's actually delete everything and we'll start from scratch. Okay, I've deleted everything on this page. We're basically left with a new page here. Let's get rid of that footer. Don't really need to see that. We can do that in our workspace. It's a custom footer. I don't want to show the builder layout. That's fine. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just create some sections so we've got something to scroll to. So by default, it's got a regular section in there. I'm going to add a single column to it. I'm going to throw in a heading module. And we'll give it a name. And just to keep it really simple, I'm going to go into the section itself. And we'll just give it a colored background so we can tell the sections apart. We'll start off with a red perhaps. And I want each of my sections to be a minimum of full height here. So we can do that over in design. Sizing, minimum height, 100 VH, which is viewable height on any device. Great, so there's a simple section. Let's duplicate it with the two little ones here. We'll get it down to the next one. We'll click on the section. We'll change color. Let's make it yellow, whatever color you want this. And of course, I want to change that section 2 to section 2 in the text. And then we'll duplicate again. Go into this one. Well, we're in the section already. So let's go into this module and we'll change this to a 3. And then we want to change that background color too. One more time. I think that will do it for us. Actually, let's have a bit lighter blue for this one. Change the top ones, that's fine. We'll just make this one section 4. Great, so what we've got on our page here is 4 little sections, different colors. Each of them has got a title, as you can see, section 1 there, section 2, etc. So watch what happens. I'm going to add a new section in between 1 and 2 here. I'm going to throw 2 columns in there. Now I'm going to use a little table of contents module down here. There it is. And instantly you can see it's picked up on our heading 1s up here. And let's just pull this up the top. I'm going to open up my layers. It's my second one there. I can left click, just drag it to the top. And as I mentioned, it's picked up on our H1s. If we click on the module here, under content here, it asks you, what do you want to include? Heading 1, well, I've got no heading 2s, so I can get rid of those because we've just got heading 1s there. So obviously if these were proper titles, you'd have the proper name up there, which is fantastic. Now, if it can't find any headings, it's going to tell you down here. If you want it to tell you something different, then you can change that there. And if you want to include a module title, you can put that in there. I'm happy for it to use these. Watch what happens if I put a heading 4 in here as well. Let's go into this module. I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to add another heading module within it. So let's go down, add a heading. And I'll say more info, or whatever you want to put on yours, obviously, just an example. But I want this to be a heading 4. So over in design, Here's the heading text. I'm going to change it to a heading 4. And obviously you can change these fonts for all of these things here if you want to. For scroll purposes, I'm also going to give it a little more padding on the top so it's a little further away from that section 2. So let's close that up. And in spacing, padding top, 300 pixels. Fantastic. Now if I go back up to our table of contents, you're not going to see it here. And I'm sure you figured out the reason why. It's because if we go into our table of contents and the content, we haven't told it to recognize heading 4s. If I click on this, suddenly we've got our heading 4 listed up there and we can scroll to it, which is a great little feature. It really is. Okay. Well, obviously this doesn't look very good, so let's decorate it a little bit. Of course, we can go over in design and do that. We're in the table of contents. First thing I'm going to do before we go to design is go down to the background. Let's make it dark in color just to make things stand out a little bit better. Fantastic. Now let's pop over to design. And the scroll, I'll come back to this in a minute. We want to set smooth scroll so it sort of rolls down to it like you saw. You can turn this off so it jumps to the section if you want to. And a scroll offset, I'm going to demo that in a minute because we are going to need to use it. Layout wise, it's set to flex. That's absolutely fine. I don't want to change anything there at all. Well, my title text, I can't read that. Let's change it to a color that we can actually read. There it is up top, table of contents. And then we've got our list text down here. We've got our level 1s, and it's included a level 4 because I've only included level 1 and 4 on here. So you can change the colors of these to anything you want. Choose that default blue perhaps. And then for my level 4, which is the H4 text there, you can have a completely different color if you want to. And rolling on down the marker text, which is the numbers basically right there. We can make that whatever color and font we want to by going in there. Perfect. Now the empty state text, if you remember back there, if it doesn't find anything, it's going to tell you something. You can change the font style and color of that if you want to there. Sizing wise, that's fine. I'm not going to change anything. Let's put a bit of spacing all around so it's got some breathing space like any other module. I'm going to give it 30 pixels all around. Hit the chain, it'll do opposite sides for you. Fantastic. And we've got all the other things like borders, box shadows and filters and stuff. I'm happy for it to sit just like that. So let's see what we've actually got on the front end here. Let's save the changes. I'll get rid of the preview that I've got there. That was my old one. And we'll preview it again on the front end. And here we have it. Section 1. If I click on that, it should pull it up to the top here. And it does, but it's pulled it up a bit too far. I think what it's actually done is pulled it all the way up behind our header there. If we go back to 2, it will probably do the same thing. And this is where that offset, we really want it to absolutely come to about there. So let's adjust that offset so it does that for us. I'll go back to the top of the page there. I'm going to go back into my table of contents here, over to design and the scroll at the top. Now, I think from memory this is about 150 pix. Yours may differ, so adjust to taste. So if I go in here and give it a scroll offset of 150, that should fix that. And you can have different variations for tablet and mobile here. So now that I've put in there, let's resave. Now we'll refresh our little page over here. Now when I scroll, it's putting that section pretty much exactly where I want it. Section 2, perfect. I've got my little back to the top button going on. Section 3, and I'm sure you can imagine what's going to happen when we hit section 4. There we go. And of course, we can scroll to our H4 title there. So you can have titles, you can have subtitles, and this is amazing for blog posts. That if you've got long blog posts with many chapters, this is a fantastic thing to have on that side. As you see, that's taking us straight down to the more info there in the middle of our section here. Absolutely wonderful. Now there's a couple of options of displaying this. If you wanted to, you could have this floating on the side so that when they scroll down, it's available at all times to scroll to different places. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And also, if I go back here, we go back to our scroll and turn smooth scroll off and save it, you'll see that it actually jumps to those sections. If we go back to here now and refresh this page, now when I do it, you can see it just jumps to those sections rather than smooth scrolling. So that's another little option for you. And like I say, we've done this before using interactions and things, but this is a real time saver. Like I say, especially for long blog posts that you've already got your chapters and things in place, you can just add one of these and it'll pick up all your titles for you. Wonderful. So let's show you how to float this thing. If I go back to this page here, what I'm going to do is let's pop this section on the bottom so it's not taking up any room at the top. So I'll go into my layers. I'm going to grab my top section here. I'm going to bang it on the bottom by left clicking, dragging and letting go. Now what I'm going to do, we'll have a little empty section at the bottom here, but that's okay. I'm going to take my table of contents. I've clicked on it. We're on the table of contents. I'm going to go over to advanced and position. I'm going to change it from default to fixed. And as you notice, it's now on the top left-hand side of my screen. Let's get rid of the layers there. We don't need that. If I roll up the screen, that is where it stays. And I'm rolling down the screen here and it's actually staying on top of everything, so we're okay. If you had a problem that it was disappearing behind some of your sections there, you need to roll down a little bit more from where we put it into fixed position and just change the Z index. Just put a load of 9s in there, put a high number in there, and it should pop on top. What Z index does, it dictates what elements stack on top of other elements. In other words, if that red section had a Z index of 10, and this table of contents had a Z index of 11 or higher, it would always appear on top of the red section. Okay, well, let's just turn our smooth scroll back on because that's what I like. We'll save our changes. Now let's see what we've got on the front end here. Well, as you can see, we've got a little bit of a problem there. It's okay, I just need to offset it by the amount of our header up there, which I happen to know is 150, so I'm going to give it about 160 padding on the top, or even margin top would do it. So table of contents, if I go down to spacing there, I'll use a bit of margin on the top. Let's say, yeah, 180 pixels should do it. It'll pop it down to there. Now if we reset, that should fix that little problem that we've got there. Perfect. And of course you can pull it out from the side. So section 1, we're already there. Section 2, perfect. The little more info, we'll shoot that up to the top. Section 3, which is another H1, another H1, section 4, back to our H4, back to the H2, section 2, then back to the top again. And we've got nothing above that because we pulled our little table of contents down. For anybody that didn't realize what I did there, when I pulled it down 180 pixels, you can offset it from the side as well by just putting it however much you want to offset it on the left hand side there. And you could also do that in fixed positioning. Actually, if we look down here, you've got a vertical and horizontal offset. Both will do the same for you. So there we have it. That's the new table of contents module that they've just added to Divi 5 here. Really is a great little time saver, as you can see, especially as I mentioned earlier for posts, long blog posts with many titles and chapters and things. What a wonderful way of navigating around them. Saves you so much time doing the interactions there. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions either about Divi 4 or Divi 5, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie with System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.